Greetings ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Build with Blinky. Today we're gonna build the TIE Striker from Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I didn't know a lot about this TIE fighter starting this build, but along the way I found some Being a design coming from a film not yet released, a lot of guesswork was done in this one, as was in the U-Wing. But we can see that standardized TIE fighters still use a same-like cockpit, so I went ahead and used a TIE bomber cockpit, cut off the bomb section and used that one. I adjusted it slightly to be symmetrical on both sides of the wings so that they can actually be in the middle. Where normally it would be 10 blocks wide, it's now 11. And we see that I then went ahead and cut out the middle section to allow these rotor wings to be put in place. Which was of course the hardest part about building this TIE fighter. Or TIE Striker I should say. Although it can function in space, the TIE Striker was designed primarily for use in atmosphere and features a sleek profile with an extended cockpit and advanced high-speed wings. At least that's what the fancy flight site says. I think they look sleek indeed, though I've questioned the actual functionality of wings being right in front of your center of mass instead of being extended. We saw this problem occurring with the U-Wing, but those wings are more like tail wings in my opinion, where they, like in an aircraft, would alter the course but not so much provide lift for the vehicle. With a TIE Striker, these should provide lift, and probably in the Star Wars universe physics work a little differently because everything is powered by the Force. We saw Yoda flying an X-Wing without actually flying an X-Wing, so I give the benefit of the doubt to the Star Wars universe and its flying mechanics. As we sped past the building process, we see that the wings are now connected on the rotors. I used the maximum range outwards so that they won't collide with their original point. And then slant them down both by 20 degrees, 30 degrees and 10 degrees up. I noticed that 30 degrees up was way too much, 20 also, so I went for the 10, and downwards I just went as much as I could go. The only TIE fighter I know of is the Inquisitor TIE fighter, which has folding wings. So this is kind of new design for TIE fighters, and I really like it where the Rogue One series is going with its alternate designs but familiar design. So in this last step I fill up the holes where they're supposed to be piping so that the actual thrusters work, and copy it up so I have a blueprint ready, and make sure that I also have thrusters going up top. These need to be a bit more inwards as they didn't have to burn the wings off, because you don't want that now, do ya? After putting the final details to the fighter, I go and do some of the systems. So for this fighter we just need to use the wings, maximum and minimums, and we need to make sure that there's enough space in the wings that it can actually fold down and fold up. With that said, the whole fighter will be done and we go towards the painting process, which I of course color pick one of my old fighters and take that as an example. So the light bluish hue I use for everyone, and then sometimes have a slightly darker, slightly lighter addition to it. Makes the fights come more alive, otherwise it's a single color, and when you use multiple hues of the same bluish, dark grayish color, it looks more like an actual metal spaceship that has seen some battles or has seen some fighting. And not like a toy, like most of the workshop things I see from, well, or Star Wars or other creations. I also went for the red stripes, indicating this is a high-ranking officer, as this gave me a, well, nicer looking overall ship and give it more contrast to its regular buddies that are only grey and black. Here we see again adding extra colors to a already set hue, and trying to get the glow of the green for the guns, which I do with a text panel. So this brings us to the final part of the process. Again, testing the fighter, see how it works. Is it capable of flying on a planet? Of course, important for a atmospheric craft. We don't want it to be drifting around and being sluggish. So I think it went really well. The wings are light enough that they don't really hamper the movement, but of course you need to lock them in place when you do. As we see here, it falls apart, which is probably because of a frame rate issue which I was having at that time. And you also want to make sure that your blueprint is not locked into place with its rotors. You want your blueprint to be unlocked so that when you paste it in, the rotors still react as rotors and not like different static meshes. Seeing here, yeah, it works. Okay, let's take it for a spin. Of course, the text panel in front I sometimes still connect to. And we jump to next section and seeing that here, yes, it flies. So let's go. Ready to do some beauty shots, I think. Where Leo has been so kind to make a rave party for us. Looks marvelous, doesn't it? They'll dance for it. So, that is the TIE Striker. Enjoy watching me burn, crash and fly. It's a really nice build to actually see in action. It's even better on planets and at high speed, soaring above the ground. And I thank you all for watching this episode. It has been a delight once more to build a Star Wars replica, and I hope you guys still think I am doing a good job here. If you have any suggestions for the upcoming builds, other science fiction universes, maybe other movies, go hit me up in the comment section and I will surely take a look. I've been Blinky, this has been Built with Blinky, and I bid you all a good day, good evening, or wherever you're from, and enjoy me flying the TIE Striker from Rogue One, a Star Wars story.